Howdy y'all, this is Shubham, and today we're going to talk about money management, something which we should all aspire to be good at. First things first, if you're like me, you're an international student who took loans from your country's bank and want to transfer it to your university to pay for tuition or housing. So worry not, you don't need to go to your bank to make a transfer to your university. With special third-party companies like TransferWise, it's very much possible to send money directly from your phone app or online banking from your country through the website and directly to your university. Here's how it works. So you go to transferwise.com. It's a separate company which is legit, and you initiate the transfer through your bank account and you link it through TransferWise, and you have a special code of your university, and you just put that code in and the money will be directly gone to the university's account, and it will be reflected in a day or two in your portal where you can see that all tuition fees or partly or whatever it is will be paid directly. And that's a very good way to initiate a transfer to pay your tuition or housing or other utilities which shows up on your student portal and needs to be taken care of before the semester begins. Next up is banking. Now, banking is very critical in America. You need to have a bank to get the money from friends, from family, from international transfers, for your own personal expenses. Now, banking can be a little difficult in order to understand which bank is good and which bank is not. So you want to prioritize on student accounts. Now, student accounts is really special in America where if you're a student, you get benefits. So you can have a zero balance account where your minimum balance can be zero. It should not be zero, but it can be zero. If, for example, you spend all the money which you had and you have zero balance, they won't charge you extra fees. Now, another bank account, if you open up a regular account, like an adult account, non-student account, you need to have a minimum balance of around $100, something like that, to stop incurring fees. And that is very critical. You need to have a student bank account, which is very much easy because near your universities, you must be having Chase or Wells Fargo, which makes it easier for opening up such kind of accounts. And on a very quick basis, basically you just go in and within less than 30 minutes you get your temporary debit card and your bank account set up with online banking features. And transferring money within America is free of cost into any bank, so you don't have to worry about anything. There is something called Zelle, which is an interbank money transfer application which works with Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, what have you. And you can easily transfer to your friends as minimum as 1 cent. Another important part of money management is having money. So for that, you need to get a job. So getting a job in your university should not be that difficult as an international student because you can work as a student worker where you get the minimum wage. In Texas, it's $7.25. So basically you will be covered for at least $500 a month, which is what I get at the university. And that basically covers your rent and your food if you are literally on a budget. So getting a job on your university should not be that difficult. Just go to your university employment portal where you can go ask for jobs or apply with your resume. Generally what they're looking for is nothing top-notch where you have industrial experience or you're great with computers or coding. They have professionals for that. For student workers, they just need someone who can take care of the miscellaneous activities of arranging the data or librarian or bookkeeping. Some jobs are really difficult, so like escort driving, where in my university, if you're after 2:00 a.m., you're still in the university, there is escort service which is run by the police officers, and you as a student volunteer can drive people around in those escort cabs, and they'll take you to your apartment and on campus. So that's a very good way to get your own pocket money of sorts, so you don't have to always get money from your country or your parents or a bank, whoever is giving you money. Another thing about money management and which you need to take care of when you come to America is spending. Your expenses slowly rack up a lot over time if you are on a spending spree or an Amazon spending spree. So the best way to do it, and that's how I did it, I buy a lot of gadgets for my schoolwork, for traveling, for photography, and I always buy it on a yearly increment. Once a year, there is a sale called Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which is the following Monday. Black Friday happens on a Friday. You can figure that out by going to Google and figuring out what date is Black Friday falling on in 2018. And on that day, everything which you buy is literally very cheap. There's deals online, there's sales on Best Buy, which is a gadget store, and where you get all the laptops and what have you. And you get deals in Walmart, Target. So these places have reduced price on all the inventory, and you can easily spend money over there and get your yearly gadgets or your computers or your cameras or your expensive iPhones of sorts. Now, another thing which happens if you're not as a person who can haggle through all the inventory in Walmart or Best Buy, and you want to take the only piece of laptop which is left at that price because everybody took everything else, you can take advantage of Cyber Monday. Now, Cyber Monday, as the name sounds, is an online sale where you go to multiple websites of the vendor generally, or Deals of America is another famous website where you can buy gadgets and all the things, anything which you want, anything, literally anything which is available on Amazon is cheaper. It's reduced price. There's always a deal going on. If you buy phones during that time on Samsung, I think it's like buy one, get one free, something like that on newest Samsung phones. And it's a very, very good place to start up all your spending and save up the previous amount, because what will happen is you pay up a lot of money upfront because you're new to America, you need all the gadgets like a brand new phone or a brand new MacBook, but you spend too much and then you have buyer's remorse later on when Black Friday comes in and you're just upset. So in order to avoid all that and not being upset and get a great deal and save a lot of money is Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. So look out for that. It's in November, I think so. It fluctuates every year. Save up your money to shop at that time. Final thing which I want to talk about is loans. Now, as an international student, you cannot take loans in America unless there is a resident, which is a green card holder, or a citizen of United States agreeing to sign for your loan. And that loan can be any amount. You can sign for a $100,000 loan for your undergraduate tuition. Another way is getting loan from your country. Now that's much more easier because you get better interest rate in your country than America, because the way the loan system works over here is on credit. The person who is signing your loan should have a good credit for you to get a lower interest. Now that's very difficult to gauge at the first point. You need to ask for credit, and not a lot of people will tell you about their credit score. But if they're willing to sign for you, that means that you are tied to them to make the payments to the bank on a recurring basis and until you finish up the whole amount. Generally, what happens with private loans in America is that once the papers are signed, you can either select to go all the way till graduation, no money paid. That's one of the options, and you get 6 months of buffer period after your graduation where you can find a job and then make the payments. Or if you have an on-campus job and you're making good money for yourself to provide for the essentials and pay the bills, and you have still money left extra in your savings, you are better off paying a little bit of that towards your loan and make your principal amount very less, so that after 6 months, when the interest is not simple interest, it compounds, your principal amount is very less, so you don't have to pay a huge compound interest on it. That's one of the ways where you can get a loan in America. There is no other way to get a loan in America, so don't even try it. If you ever get it, a loan by yourself, there are some lenders who do that, but they charge you around 25 to 30% interest rate, which on a $50,000 loan is a lot. So don't go through that rabbit hole. Just get a loan from your country. It's very easy, it's really cheap, and the exchange rate, you're better off paying in dollars to your own currency, because dollars is always higher than other countries' currency. Well, that's all for today on money management. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We'll be putting more content on how to make your transition in America easier and looking forward to meeting you again.